right. That's crazy.
I do my thing in the kitchen. My name is Cord, I'm for the culture, and I'm here with a vision. We here to talk, chop it up. They say the odds are stacked against us. We ain't seen that bet. And the things we do in kitchens, y'all ain't seen that shit. Yes, Lord, let me talk. Listen, man, we here for a good time, not a long time. Matter of fact, we here for a great time. You now turned in the Kitchen Culture Podcast.
All right, so before we get started with the recipe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me if you ain't already subscribed. And share this video with just like 2 people, 3 people, 5 people. With whoever you think might need it. Just share the link, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go ahead and get started though. So we got all of our ingredients here. So start of the show, we got 4 catfish fillets already patted dry, cleaned. And then we have some crawfish tails, which are already cooked. All right, they already cooked, so we'll do that at the end. Okay, so to season everything on up, here's what we got. So we got some unsalted lemon pepper, some smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and then some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. All right. Also, what we're gonna be using is some Dijon mustard, or you can use regular mustard. Don't really matter, but that's gonna help to bind everything together. We got some chicken broth for our grits. We have some heavy whipping cream, vegetable oil, and then what we have is our dry batter is gonna be a cup of yellow cornmeal and a cup of some all-purpose flour. We mix that together, and then we're gonna go ahead and add our seasonings on in, and then we'll go ahead and batter our fish. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, y'all, so we got our fish fillets. What we're gonna do is just get our mustard first as our binder, and just get that all over our fish. And again, you can use yellow mustard, you can use a spicy mustard, it doesn't matter. Mustard is just gonna be a good binder. Or if you don't like mustard, even though you're not gonna taste it, you can also use, eggs. So next we're gonna go ahead and get our hot sauce. Now the reason I'm doing it like this, where we're not seasoning both sides, is because we season pretty generously on the front and then just rub everything in together. It's gonna create the exact same effect. All right, so we hit it with some Tony Chachere's unsalted lemon pepper, smoked paprika. All right, so yeah, if you ever have a question about like smoked paprika versus regular paprika, here's the difference. So regular paprika is just gonna make your food look pretty. It's gonna make it pop a little bit more. But smoked paprika has like a slightly smoky flavor. You actually get some benefit out of it. It does cost a little bit more, but it's well worth it. So then we're gonna add in just a pinch of some black pepper. That's a big pinch, but you get the idea. Just a little bit, probably less than a teaspoon. Last but not least, we get our garlic and our onion powder. So here's the garlic powder. And a little bit of onion powder. Now, go ahead and rub everything around together. All right, this is how your fish should look. If it don't look like this, if it's still pink, season it some more. It ain't seasoned enough. All right, boom. So with the same seasoning that we use for the fish, we're gonna add that into our batter as well. And then all we're gonna do, take our fish, press it down into the batter like that, flip it. Flip it, reverse it, or whatever. All right, so get that coated really well. Okay. Once it's done to your liking, you wanna make sure every piece of this fish is well coated. So to allow this to stick the best, what we're gonna do is just place this. You can get it on wax paper, parchment paper, or a wire rack, or even just a cutting board, right? You wanna shake off that excess. You don't want that to fall into the grease because that'll affect the temperature of your oil. All right, so we brought some vegetable oil up to temp, and when you frying food, the best way to know is really take some of your batter that you got left over, right? Drop it in. You see how it started to boil, you see how it started to bubble up and everything like that? That's how you know it's ready. So take any of your catfish, get that oil ready. And then always drop this in away from you. Why do we do that? So that way it doesn't splatter back on you and hit you in the face. All right, so we're gonna cook these for about, maybe about 5-6 minutes each side, and get them in there, but like, do not overcrowd your pan, all right? So we're gonna let those go, and this is gonna be about like a medium high heat, just depending on what kind of stove you got. Let that go. It should be nice and golden brown when you take it out. All right, so now after about 6 minutes, go ahead, take your fish, flip it over. All right, I did a really thin coat. All right, so then we'll go ahead and flip them all. So you want it to be melanated, nice and golden brown, but not too dark. All right, so we'll let that go for another like 6 minutes, and then we'll be ready. All right, so what we're gonna do is bring up our liquid to a boil first. So for our grits, we're gonna start off with 2 cups of heavy cream and 2 cups of chicken broth. All right, add that on in like so. And with the seasoning, it's gonna be pretty simple, but we're gonna add in some smoked sea salt. So season the liquid up first. This is just how I do it. You can do this last if you want to. So smoked sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, whisk that around real good. And then once this comes to a boil, then we'll go ahead and slowly add our grits in. This is a real simple thing. You can't mess this up. All right, so our liquid mixture then came up to a boil. And then what we're gonna do, we got a cup of grits. So rule of thumb with our grits, we always gonna add, for every 1 cup of grits, you're gonna add 4 cups of liquid. No matter if it's water, milk, whatever, 4 cups of liquid. So we're gonna slowly add this in. So just about a little bit, get out a quick little whisk, and just keep on going, right? Now what we're gonna do is turn this down to low and cover this on up with a lid. All right, so our grits are pretty much ready. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and turn the temperature off. Turn it all the way off. Add in your 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Get a handful of whatever cheese you feel is best. I'm using mozzarella in this case. A lot of times Gouda works really well too, but yeah, get whatever works for you. Then you're just gonna whisk again. And then to make sure this doesn't cook anymore, go ahead and remove it from the eye. But that's it. So you don't want this to have like a cheese pull like mac and cheese or nothing like that, but yeah, so it's gonna be flavorful. Ooh. Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and drop in 2 tablespoons of some unsalted butter and let that melt real quick. We're gonna get in some red onions, or you can get yellow onions. It really don't too much matter, but I feel like onions and bell peppers are just a necessity whenever you cook, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna add in just a little bit of bell pepper blend here. So we're just gonna cook that down for about like 2-3 minutes or so. Once these get cooked down a little bit, what we're gonna do is add in just a little bit of flour so we can thicken this up. So about maybe 2 teaspoons worth. Get that flour cooked on out real good. Let that go for about another couple minutes or so. All right, so we're gonna add in some of our heavy cream here. And just a little bit of chicken broth. All right, yeah. All right, so once this starts boiling, we'll go ahead and get everything seasoned and then add in our crawfish. So we're coming through with some Tony's. This has salt in it, so season that to taste. Smoked paprika. A little bit of black pepper. So by now, you should kind of be getting the idea here, but it's gonna be garlic powder and onion powder on this, right? So, boom, a little bit of that there. Get out a good mix, and then once everything's incorporated, what we're gonna do next is add in our crawfish. So if your sauce starts to get a little bit too thick on you, all you gotta do, add in just a little bit of some chicken broth, right? That'll thin everything on out. And you get these cooked crawfish tails on in. And then we just about ready to go ahead and plate this thing on up. There goes our sauce. We're just gonna let that get thick a little bit, and then we're ready. Add this over the top. All right. That's crazy.
Yes, Lord, let me talk. You tuned into the Chef Core in the kitchen. We here for a good time, not a long time. Matter of fact, we're here for a great time. Yes, Lord, let me talk.